This is BBC News. I'm Reeta Chakrabarti. The headlines. Russian forces in armoured vehicles reach the Ukrainian capital Kyiv as thousands of machine guns are handed out to volunteers defending the city. Ukraine's army say they're continuing to fight as their troops take up defensive positions to defend the city. It follows a night of airstrikes and explosions over the city as Russian forces appear to close in on the capital. Damage in Kyiv's residential neighbourhoods after reports of missile strikes and an aircraft being shot down. Warning shots are fired as thousands continue to flee the capital by train and whatever means possible. Families who can't get away shelter underground for protection in Ukraine's metro stations. Ukraine's president says his country needs help.
The most powerful forces in the world watch from afar. Have yesterday's sanctions persuaded Russia? We see in our skies and feel on the ground that they are not enough.
The Kremlin says it's prepared for talks with Ukraine. Vladimir Putin calls on the Ukrainian military to put down their weapons.
Take power into your own hands. Like that, it will be easier for us to come to an agreement than with that gang of druggies and neo-Nazis.
NATO reiterates its support for Ukraine and condemns Russian aggression.
Moscow bears sole responsibility for the deliberate, cold-blooded and long-planned invasion.
Hello. Ukraine's Ministry of Defence has called on residents in Kyiv to defend the capital as the city comes under direct attack from Russian forces. Officials say that troops had reached a northwest suburb of the city this morning after loud explosions and air raid sirens began overnight. A government advisor says 18,000 machine guns have been handed out to people volunteering to defend the city. This is video from social media today, appearing to show Russian armoured vehicles driving through the residential district of Obolon to the northwest of Kyiv. The area is just 9 kilometres, that's 5.5 miles, north of Kyiv's parliament, the presidential office and the city centre. Authorities have told residents in Obolon to stay off the streets. The city woke to assess the damage this morning. Footage appears to show a plane wreckage after a Russian aircraft was reportedly shot down over Kyiv last night, as well as blocks damaged by shelling. Several people are said to be injured. The US has said no cities have yet been taken, but the more than 200 missile launches have been seen so far, including some hitting residential areas. Some 100,000 people across Ukraine are thought to have left their homes seeking safety. NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg opened a meeting of the organisation by condemning Russia's invasion, calling it deliberate, cold-blooded and long-planned. EU officials say the bloc has agreed to freeze assets belonging to Russia's President Vladimir Putin and Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov as part of a package of sanctions. Earlier, President Zelensky made a plea for more help from the international community. He also said he would not leave Kyiv, even though he knows that he is a target. The Kremlin has said it is willing to send a negotiating team to neighbouring Belarus for talks about the neutral status of Ukraine. Paul Adams sent this report.